My Hero Academia Season 2, Episode 14. That's the idea, Ochako. Hey, what is going on, party people? Mincho here, back at it once again with another video. Thank you very much for tuning in, and today it is time for my review of the first episode of Season 2 of My Hero Academia. And oh boy, this is a good one. It has been a long time since I've done anime reviews. Since Mob Psycho 100, super hyped series, had a blast doing it. Just had to do it for this Season 2 of Hero. I really did. I fell in love with the first season, and I was just so excited for the second. And I have a YouTube channel. I reviewed a previous anime last year. Why not review Season 2 of My Hero Academia? And that's exactly what I'm doing. So yeah, it is really early right now. I am not used to being up this early. I'm definitely not used to recording this early. It's like 7 in the morning. I'm tired, I'm not gonna lie, but I am extremely hyped. So I did not expect to be sucked back into this world this easily. Like this episode 14, and the episode prior to that, episode 13.5, which is like a recap of the first season, just kind of reintroduces everyone, shows where we left off. They just suck you back in so easily. Like, I fell in love with these characters all over again. It feels like it wasn't even a year since the first season. It felt like it was just yesterday when I watched those episodes, and I'm just immediately back in. Hopefully Attack on Titan Season 2 will be the same, because that's a little bit more hectic and crazy. This is so much more simplistic and just easy to get a grasp of. I think that's why I fell in love with the first season so much. It's just how simplistic everything is. It's just, yeah, there's heroes, there's bad guys. Here's a story. It's not overly complicated. It's super easy to follow. It's more about the characters and the action and just the overall antics of it all. And I think that's what makes this series so special. And that's what makes it so beautifully shonen. And that's one of the reasons why I love it so much. Anyway, let's jump on to episode 14. That's the idea. Ochako. So this episode is mostly about Ochako, but kind of not really, because there's so much more to the episode than that. The episode starts off pretty much right where the first season left off. It really did. And I highly recommend you watching 13.5 if you haven't already watched 14, because it definitely helps with kind of just, it's a little jarring jumping in, I'm not going to lie. If you watch 13.5, you'll kind of understand what's going on a little bit more. But if you just recently watched the first season, then it doesn't really matter. Or if you already jumped on 14, then you already know what I'm talking about. So we jump in to episode 14, the beginning of season 2, with a lot of concern. I mean, everyone is a little shook up from the attack that happened. I can't remember what that place was called where the attack happened. But yeah, there was the dude, Shigaraki, I believe his name is, the dude with the hand on his face, and basically he touches people and they disintegrate. Yeah, that dude, people were kind of scared of him. So there's this meeting going on between all of the teachers, I believe, all of like the higher up heroes, and they're all talking about these villains, these villains that attack them, and why, and how could they be so brave and stupid. I mean, All Might is speaking like they're just dumb. Like, why would they do this? This guy is like a child. He mentions that he seems like a man-child that doesn't know how to properly use his powers, or wasn't ever taught how to properly use his quirk, I should say. And it kind of makes sense. I mean, I'm thinking that Shigaraki, I believe that's his name. I'm sorry if I'm incorrect here, but I believe that Shigaraki is a younger character. Now, I'm not thinking he's like Deku young, but I'm thinking he's like definitely not like 30, 40 or anything like that. I'm thinking he's in his young 20s, because he does seem not necessarily foolish, but I don't know, just like very foolhardy. That's pretty much foolish, but he seems just very brave and kind of unconcerned about what's going on with all the heroes. Like, would you really have attacked those kids knowing that All Might was going to be there? Like, it just seems so drastic and so just crazy, and all of the teachers are kind of mind-boggled by this. Like, why would they even think to attack? Like, it seems so stupid. And revealing their quirks too, that was a big thing that they mentioned in this episode, was revealing their quirks obviously makes the heroes smarter and makes them know how to defend themselves next time, because now they know, oh, if Shigaraki touches you, you're going to start disintegrating. So we know his power now. We know what he can do. So now we know how to avoid, and we can train ourselves and plan out an attack or plan out a better defense against these villains. And same thing with the other character, the character that can make the portals or whatever, and Nomu. I'm not sure if they even know that Nomu is alive. I believe they showed him at the end of season 1 that he was alive. I believe that Shigaraki, or the League of Villains or whatever, retrieved him after All Might pretty much just blasted him out of the entire solar system. But yeah, there's all this concern. The principal's expressing it, but All Might has faith that now they know that, these villains, they know their quirks, and they can defend themselves. And plus they know that these heroes, the younglings, the heroes that were training there, know or he knows that those younglings can defend themselves. They're strong. They stood up and they fought back. They didn't just, scare away or anything like that. So that was really interesting. That was how the episode started. And then we kind of jump into what's going on with Deku and how he feels after that attack. And the words of All Might being spoken to him about how he has his power. It's his responsibility to make it his own. And he feels so entitled to that. And I love that drive for the character. I really liked Deku this episode. He was very serious. He wasn't like this jokey kid. He wasn't like scared or anything like that. He was very stern and very serious, and I like that. I like seeing Deku stronger, and because in the first season we saw him just, he had reasons to. He had lots of good reasons to, but we saw him crying a lot and scared a lot, and again, there were good reasons. But this episode, I'm hoping that this season shows a braver, not necessarily braver, but more of a smarter Deku, one that's aware of what's going on around him. Now he knows the type of villains that they have to worry about. Now they know they have a reason to be heroes now. Now they know the reason why they're going to be heroes, why this training is so serious. The entire UA Academy, this is what it's all about. It's about defending people from those guys. And I see this face in Deku, and he's more stern and more serious, and I like that. One of my favorite, instances in the animation was when he was in his room and he was lifting up this weight, and like there was animations going on behind him of the past fight with Shigaraki and Nomu and everything that was going on there. You had Mineta and Suyu. You had all those characters fighting in the background, and he was just thinking in his monologue, just lifting this weight. That was really, really cool. I love that animation. I was like, whoa, like that was a great way to express what was going on and what was going on in his head. Then we jump back into class, and this is where I just got sucked back into the series so easily with all of the crazy characters. There's so many crazy characters. Now, you'll have to forgive me. I don't remember everyone's name, but just seeing Lita again, Lita, the guy with the jets on his calves. This guy is, I love that character so much. I didn't like him at first in season 1, but I'm really, really growing on him towards the end of the last season and the beginning of this one. Like, he's such a funny character. He's such a straight guy, like he's the straight man of the group, but he's just like, he tries to be serious and tries to be taken serious, but he really can't, and I like that about him. So he's running the homeroom class, and jokes are being thrown around. You see all the other heroes here. I love just all the animations of the characters. The character animations are fantastic in this series. Some of the best I've ever seen. I'm not even gonna lie. Just how they're moving, and it adds to the character. It really does. The animation of the specific characters just make them feel so much more alive, and I really like that part in this episode. Just seeing that classroom, it felt real. It really did, and like I mentioned earlier, it made me just feel so much more involved in the series. It just, like, I was there. Like, I just felt like, man, I just loved how easily I was sucked back into this world. Like, I was worried that, like, should I rewatch My Hero Academia? I really don't have time to rewatch the first series. I mean, I want to, but should I? Like, do I need to? I really didn't. I just needed to watch 13.5 and then jump straight onto this, because I'm back in. Like, it happened so easily. And that scene in the classroom really, really helped. Again, we see jokes being thrown around. Aizawa comes in. He's the teacher. Aizawa was hurt very badly in the fight with, I can't remember his name, with the hand face guy. I mean, he was, like, tearing him apart. He was getting beaten, but he got out on time to, save his life. He didn't die. But he is damaged, and he has bandages all over his head. He looks like a mummy. The kids are, like, shocked. What are you doing here, man? Like, you were seriously injured. You fought, like, you went through hell back there. What are you doing teaching us? And he's talking about the UA Sports Festival. I believe that's what it's called, and how it's, like, taken over the Olympics in Japan. How it's, like, this really big deal that the entire world watches. There's, like, scouts there, other higher-up heroes that hire in sidekicks. It's a really big deal, and I believe that's the big focus on this entire second season. And you can kind of tell where they're going with this. I mean, it looks like it's going to be kind of like their tournament arc, their shonen tournament arc, and I'm really excited about that. But yeah, you see him mentioning this, all the characters are reacting to it. Most of the characters are really excited, but Deku is still a little concerned for some reason. He's still a little stern and serious. He doesn't really, I'm not quite sure actually. I don't really know what's going through his head right now. Regarding the UA Sports Academy, or Sports Festival. I don't really know what's going on through his head, so that's kind of interesting there. That's something to look back on as we go further into the series. And then we see Ochako, the female character, I guess she's the main female lead, yeah. We see her, and she's, like, super pumped and serious about this, like, we're gonna ace this thing, this is gonna be our fight, and, like, everyone's, like, so weirded out, like, why is she so, like, what's going on? Like, why is she being so weird right now? This isn't her, but she's, like, so serious, and then Deku remembers, like, hey, like, I never really asked Ochako why she wants to be a hero. Like, what is her purpose? Like, why is she here? So he decides to just ask her, like, hey, like, why are you a hero? And this is where, you know, the reason why the episode is called That's the Idea, Ochako, is because we get kind of a backstory on her character. And I really like her as a character. She's just trying to get money to support her family for their construction company so they can just sit back and relax and she can do the work for the family. She wanted that when she was a little girl, but unfortunately she just wasn't mature enough, didn't have the right abilities, didn't have enough respect. But now as she is growing into this hero and she hopes in the further, you know, UA Sports Academy that she can get that respect and get those scouts on her so that she can get that money so she can support her family. I like what she's trying to do. I do. And like Deku's a little confused at first, like, what do you mean just money? Like I didn't think that anyone was in this for the money, but she is, and it makes total sense why. She's trying to keep her family safe. Geez, like I mentioned, I'm really tired right now. She's trying to keep her family safe and sound, and I like that. I really do. I like that motivation for her. We see some animations from when she was a kid. She looks super kawaii, which is cool. She's an awesome character. I really liked her in the first season. I really like her quirk, how she can float things and even float herself as well. I really like her quirks, and I really like this motivation for the character. Hopefully they capitalize on that in further episodes where we see some action with her, some fights, some of the stuff and trials they're going through in the sports festival. Hopefully we kind of, I don't know, hopefully it means something. I hope it's just not like, oh, this is why she's doing that. Okay, let's go over here now. Like, I hope they incorporate that later on in this season. Then All Might comes out of nowhere and he's like, hey, Midoriya, can you, like, hang out with me and eat some lunch? Like, I need to talk to you about something. And all the kids are like, what does he want? And we see Todoroki, I believe, or Todoroki. I think it's Todoroki there, the guy with the ice and fire power. He's a little like, what's going on? Like, I don't know. He's a little aware of some stuff. Like he's taking this a little more seriously than all the other kids. He's kind of a more mature student, and I could just see this look in his eye, like something's happening. And at the end of this episode, when we see the preview for next episode, I kind of know why they did that. There's a little bit of foreshadowing there. And All Might speaks to him, and he says that I only have 50 minutes left as All Might. I can only be All Might for 50 minutes, because if you don't know, he can only use his full 100% strength for a certain amount of time, and I believe it was previously 3 hours, but after the fight with Nomu, it is now only 50 minutes because he just overexerted himself, and that's a big deal. If you only have 50 minutes as All Might, oh man, the enemy definitely has an edge on them. I mean, they just have to wait him out, basically. So he's speaking to Deku and telling him, like, you need to inherit this power and really use it as your own. You need to be the next All Might. And we see the responsibility in All Might's eyes. We see the message that he's conveying, and Deku is like, I know, this is my destiny. This is what I have to do. And I love the path that Deku is going on. Something that I completely forgot to mention. Oh my god. I believe it was the beginning of the episode where there was kind of like a little bit of a monologue. Deku was speaking. He was talking about what happened in the previous season, kind of. I think it was just a little catch-up thing. It was like 2-3 minutes of the episode. But we see I don't know what it was, but we see Deku. He's on this cliff overlooking the city, and he's beaten up. Like, his uniform, his costume, I guess, is torn. His face is kind of all ripped up. And he's just fighting there stern, and we see him use, oh my goodness, we see him use Plus Ultra. And I don't know if that's like what's going to happen at the end of this season, or if that's way later on, like end game stuff. I have no idea, but it looked awesome. It looked so cool. So I hope that maybe that's the end of the season. Maybe we'll get like an awesome fight where Deku can finally use All Might's power to the fullest and use Plus Ultra, the one that blasted Nomu out of the solar system. Hopefully we get something like that at the end of the season. That would be so hype. But yeah, again, we see the seriousness. Deku is taking this very seriously. He is going to develop these powers into his own during the sports festival. And that's where we dip into the preview for next episode, which looks incredibly hyped. The sports festival is starting. I don't really know what this consists of. I'm not a manga reader, unfortunately. I probably will be after this season, to be honest. But I know this arc is supposed to be pretty hype. I know a lot of people that have read the manga that are mentioning that, yes, this is going to be a great season because the sports festival arc is, like, fantastic. Like, it's supposed to be the best part of the entire show, or the entire series so far, even in the manga. So that's extremely exciting. But all in all, I really enjoyed this episode. I did. I thought it touched on a lot of different things. We get some backstory on Ochako. We get some stuff that we've seen before with All Might in his motivation on giving his power to Deku. We see Deku, he's growing up as a hero and realizing his responsibility. We see the threat that the League of Villains is putting on the other heroes in the UA Academy, but we also get this kind of like, oh, they're kind of naive and they're kind of foolish, so it's kind of a new edge on the villains as well, that they're just these younglings that are just, I don't know why they're doing this. So that's also an exciting part of the series that I'm hoping that we get to explore more on later on in Season 2. So yeah, I think that is pretty much it with my review. All in all, I think I'd have to give the episode, I think I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10. It wasn't perfect, and again, it was kind of slow. I was hoping for at least one pretty cool action scene. I think that's why they actually showed the Plus Ultra Punch that Deku was doing. They just had to put some kind of action in this episode because it was a rather slow episode. But again, I'm okay with that because it is episode 14, not Season 2, episode 1. So, yeah, comment down below. Give me your thoughts on episode 14 of My Hero Academia. Let me know what you think of this episode. Let's just talk about it. I'm excited. What do you think of Ochako's motivations? What do you think about the League of Villains? What's going on with Deku? What is his mindset? Todoroki, though, that fight is coming. That fight is coming. Looks like Todoroki and Deku are going to be fighting next episode, or at least a fight is going to start between them. That is really excited. I don't know if Todoroki is just challenging him, like he just wants to fight Deku, or if it's an actual, like the sports festival is putting them together to fight like a tournament style kind of thing. I'm not quite sure. I'm super hyped about it. Again, as I mentioned, comment down below. I'm sorry I'm a little frantic this episode review because I am really tired. I'll have to schedule some sleep a little better. I'm sorry it's loud outside. I live in New York City. But yeah, that's it for the review. As I mentioned, comment down below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed anything that I had to talk about today. And also, please be sure to subscribe for more My Hero Academia reviews. And I am also going to be doing Attack on Titan Season 2 reviews as well, which I'm going to be doing quite shortly in just a couple hours. So damn, I better get some sleep. So look forward to that and subscribe for that as well. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. Something that I completely forgot to mention in the review was two very important things. Number one, this letter that All Might is sending to this old man. Now, the letter consists of him basically talking about his stance in UA Academy, how he's working there now, and how he gave his powers to Midoriya. Now, I don't know who this old man is. I really don't, but I can guess, and I'm thinking that it might be the person that gave All Might his powers, the one that passed the torch to him. That's the only thing I can think of. And there's also a name there. I believe that's All Might's real name. I'm not 100% certain on that. It is like Sincerely something, and I can't remember the name. I apologize. But that was extremely interesting, and I'm thinking that we're going to get some more details on that later on during the season. And the other thing was the brand new opening and ending. Oh my god, so good. Absolutely awesome. I loved the opening so much. I don't know who it's by, the artist, I don't know. But I loved it. It was just so well done. The animation, I love this song so much more than the Pornography song that was in the last season. This opening is awesome. I cannot wait to listen to more of it. And the ending, the Ochako ending, is so good. Awesome. I absolutely love the opening and the ending for this season so far. And yeah, I just completely forgot to mention these things. So yeah, see ya.